Good morning, one and all. Myself, Professor Amar Shinde from Sridatta Institute of Management, Pune, along with my co-author Dr. Maithili Arjun Wadkar, Modern Institute of Business Studies, Pune, are presenting the research paper on study on emotional sensitivity on social media influencing behavioral issues using Internet of Behavior at 15th International Conference and Awards on Interdisciplinary Research for Sustainable Development IRSD 2025 organized by International Institute of Organized Research I2R India. So we begin with our paper. So, while spending more time on social media can negatively affect a person's behavior, studies on social media frequently overlook the specific actions users take while they are online. In this study, we aim to explore the connection between social media and emotional and behavioral problems by employing IOB techniques. Internet of behavior is a branch of Internet of Things that can develop the patterns to affect person's behavior. This subject merges three areas: technology, data analysis, and the study of human actions. The blend of IoT and IOB has strong influence on how people act, make it key area for future research into social patterns and behavioral problems. IoT and IOB connected technology that collects and analyzes the data depending on user activity, measuring and passive social media behavior styles and indicates whether how these social media behaviors are reflected or related to depression, anxiety, stress, and mediating role of emotion recognition in this relationship. The intent of behavior can forecast the future patterns in how people act and potentially alter those actions to make life easier for us. This research looks at the key aspects that a person goes through while using the social media. This paper suggests ideas based on previous studies and research on how emotional affect the behavior. To introduce the study, there is often an emotional price when one feels highly sensitive to social media stimuli. Many users of social media report feelings include unhappiness, envy, insecurity, rejection, vulnerability, depression. Some studies conclude that social media have an especially adverse emotional impact on women. Today, social media has become an integral part of nearly everyone's life. Social media is also used as second screen while watching sports or advertisement on TV. Using structured observation and in-depth interviews, the researchers discovered that sports viewers can connect and interact with on the social media. They use Twitter for interactions, Facebook for private interactions, and Instagram for personal pictures and Pinterest for trendy and stylish pictures. This paper reveals how social media impacts people's emotional quotient on emotional patterns and how best to manage both positive and negatives. It's no surprise that social media has created a huge impact on individuals' lifestyle, giving ever increasing rate of widespread use of contemporary world of digitalization. With toddlers being skilled in know how to use of mobile phones and tablets to school and colleges, students depending on social media platforms have professionally growth. Given a surge of technology conquest with each individual's daily life, IOB factor based on the digital factor can use the explore the behavioral issues of people and use this for the social betterment. So we have conducted a literature review to uncover the connections between social media and emotions, which were further classified into positive emotions, negative emotions, depression, anxiety, and associated with social media. So historically, numerous research have been taken place in this particular interest, examining how social media affect the person's emotional stability. So we'll have a look at some of those researches. Vogel in 2025 he investigated how social media comparison orientation relates to Facebook usage and adverse psychological effects. These scientists in their study found out the correlation approach was employed shows that individual with the social comparison orientation demonstrated a great use of Facebook. Study 2, in which they employed an experimentation method and demonstrated that individual in high social comparison orientation experienced a worse self-perception, diminishing the self-esteem and more negative emotion balance compared to those with social low social comparison orientation after participation in group of social comparison on Facebook. Next, Bugman in 2016 examined the impact of digital media on the psychological well-being of children between age of 9 and 12. The data was gathered for 13,000 students across more than 163 schools in the province of Belgium via questionnaire that included 72 questions and utilizing the 5-point Likert scale. Data was gathered to evaluate subjective well-being regarding happiness, the use of digital well-being by frequency of use, reasons with the social media. In the Bashir and Butt in 2017, in their research paper titled Effects of Social Media on Mental Health, examined the impact of social media on mental health with a particular focus on young children. Their research showed that younger generation is at risk. Younger individuals are in development phase of life and faced an increased risk of significant mental health issues. The research was aimed to determine the connections between the use of relationship between social media and mental health, which established the importance of the subject. Until they carried out the experiment in 2018 to explore the possible causal relationship between social media and decline in well-being. This research included 143 undergraduate students to assess their mood and well-being in connection with social media. To accomplish this, they took the screen captured of a week social media interactions via smartphones as data for research. The research discovered that group that utilized the social media sparingly notably decreased the feeling of loneliness and depression over a period of 3 weeks, in contrast to the control group. So both groups exhibited a notable reduction in anxiety and fear of missing out to compare to the baseline, indicating advantage of self-awareness monitoring. The technologies that drive this particular kind of research are Internet of Things, machine learning, which employs various algorithms to find out the study. Then behavioral science, which is the field that examines human behavior while explaining patient observation. Its goal is to satisfy the reasons behind the people's behavior. Ethical utilization, the behavioral data is a personal and sensitive type of information. So gathering the data and storage and analysis was conducted with the transparency and ethical considerations. Users have entitled to understand this process and to assure their privacy is safeguarded and shielded and from the abuse. So identifying the indicators, social media behavior and sensitivity. So there were some indicators that were been identified. Before that, what effect does social media have on us? So it's too stimulating, it activates our compassion, it generates fear of missing out, and it calls upon our conscience. So few indicators that were observed in this particular study: the frequent encounters negative feelings, thoughts while surfing the web, number one. Number two, the frequent concerns about the others' opinions regarding your post. Number three, it's worried out the facing rejection, like being ignored by others, not receiving the likes or negative comments on your post. Number four, frequent evaluates one self against others while browsing, leading to the feelings of unhappiness due to unfavorable social comparisons. Number six, frequent experiences envy, jealousy, and how others show off their inevitable lifestyle. Frequency and experiences frustration over the social media posts that appear unfair, irritable, or just bothersome. Experiences physical sensations while navigating the online, and keeping the checks on social media even if it leads to the feeling distress. The point of focus for the study were to identify different factors that lead to the interference of our outcomes, which were as follows. The emotional reactions of likes and comments influence how often user posts and alter their contents on social media. Utilizations of social media and emotional as well as behavioral results in early stage. Characters attributes on platform for contributing such as discussions, etc. Additional emotional aspects include emotion, obsession, stress reliever, and social media and technology effect on the emotional life of the users. Now the outcome that we have come to after the study is there is a relationship between negative emotions such as worry, depression, and anxiety with the factors of emotion while using social media such as feelings and expressions, time spent activities, and stress latent, which affect the behavior of person browsing or using the social media. The limitations of the study, the findings of the study can be implemented by taking into consideration the following constraints. The data was gathered from the sources of internet, review articles, research papers, articles, blogs, which is the secondary source. The study has been conducted on the impact of social media and its current shape, which is altering dynamically because of emergence of new technologies. So current study draw drew upon the IOB to capture the emotional experiences of social media can experience depending on effect aspect of social media in terms of how one feels, how long he spends his usage on social media. So the data could be the primary based on the actual time spent on the lively basis. To conclude, the aim of the research was to find out the influence of social media on social emotion that influences the people behavior. It comprised negative emotions like concern, uh, jealousy, etc. Last people were classified on the basis of emotional characteristics that were uncovered by the research. The detailed literature review was carried out throughout the examination while conducting this research and writing the research paper. Different dimensions of the psychology of transformation paper as a result of use of social media was explored. Future scope of the study: the research results of the study show people how extremely active on social media. Ideal studies of the psychology of person during social media usage is the significant topic. It will assist the business to target their audience and ease the sale of certain types of products needed by individual. But from personal perspective, staying updated continuously on the social media, although potentially relieving stress, can be a mental physical disease as well as imbalance of the emotion in the long run. So there are as a part of future scope, lot of further uh, applications where this study could be benefiting. Thank you one and all.